Stop talking about us. Hello, you wild, tamed, probably smelly, but beautiful in a unique way animals. Daily Grace here from Item Channel Live. Woo! I hope you're wearing a brain condom, because your mind is about to get f***ed. In a gentle, beautiful, and respectful way, of course. And I promise I will remember it for the rest of my life. So take that hat off. Let's do this. Are you uncomfortable yet? Cool. Did you miss last week's show? Here's the clip.
On guard. Okay. Oh my gosh, he's really going for it. Who do you think you are? Oh my, Nate. Sir, Nate. Okay. Yeah. Wait, what?
I yield.
If you haven't seen Braveheart, that's the entire movie. Sorry, spoiler. Now it's time for MFCFLTS, my favorite comment from last Tuesday's show. It comes from Allison Scout. I hate missing the live show and then stuff gets cut out and I feel like I missed the joke. Because you did miss the joke. Don't ever miss a live show. Yeah, it was horrible. Horrible thing you could ever do. The only thing worse than that is severe racist jokes, but other than that, missing the live show is horrible. Horrible. Don't do it. Tell your friends, dare to say no to missing the live show. Oh my God. Just gonna bask in that for a second. I'm done basking. Now I have a really super special person with me on today's show. She's an actress. She just started a hilarious new YouTube channel, and she's meeting me for the first time right here live on My Item Channel Live. Please welcome Emma Caulfield. Yay! Single person clapping in a room for another person. Thank you for being here, Emma.
Thank you for having me.
Emma is out here in New York, but you're usually in Los Angeles.
Yes. Yes,
How
I
do you like
am.
New York?
I love New York. Every time I come here, I don't want to go home.
Really?
Yes, but
You
I have
want
to go home. I turn into a pumpkin later tonight.
Oh.
I do. An
Learning
actual pumpkin.
I'm learning so much about her already. Now, for those idiots out there that haven't watched your YouTube channel, explain to us a little bit about it.
Okay. I basically just do whatever I want.
Yeah, she does. It's the internet. Take that, television.
That's pretty much what I do. I vlog twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursdays I answer advice, and Tuesdays is grab bag, and I whatever my mind comes up with, I do.
Nice.
So yeah,
It's the
it's
internet.
like an internet one-woman show kind of situation.
So get on that. And speaking of advice, Emma's been in town shooting some mystery project that she refuses to tell me about. That's not true. We just haven't gotten to talking about that yet. And we've been trying to meet up for drinks for the past 2 weeks, and it hasn't worked out because
I keep flaking on you.
I was going to say we have a lot of things going on in our lives, but she keeps canceling on me.
It's true, I do.
And so because we haven't been able to have that drink, we're going to have it right now.
Yes.
Right here.
That's what I'm talking
in front
about.
of all of you. And I texted Emma this morning and asked her what her favorite thing to drink is.
Champagne.
Champagne.
I can drink a lot of it and not get drunk.
A girl after
the
my own
best
heart.
kind of alcohol.
What?
Kaplawi!
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, this
Okay.
has got a professional touch to it. Sorry, I've
Tilt it,
opened
and then
up.
we don't get all bubbly.
Oh
Look at
yeah,
that.
it's like we're
It
real
ain't my
life
first rodeo.
wedding caterers. This is amazing. And while we drink, like I said, speaking of advice, we're gonna be giving you guys some advice and answer some of your questions. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Yay! Prosecco.
That is like awesome.
Yeah.
That's just what I needed.
It's like water to a dolphin.
Yeah.
We're going to answer your advice because the best time for not only one, but two women to give advice to complete strangers is when they're drinking.
Yes.
And the second best time is when they're horribly hormonal. And guess what? Maybe you'll get both of those today. Let's check out your questions. Let's take a comment from YouTube first. What do we have? This is from Felicia and Nico. I have bright blue hair, but don't want to dye it back. Where can I get a job at?
What's that English? What the hell just happened? How much? Is this spiked?
It's spiked.
Because I didn't drink enough for that
The
to not
champagne
make
is
sense
spiked
yet.
with vodka. That's how I drink everything. I call it a Shirley Temple. So when you come to my bar and you ask for a Shirley Temple, surprise kids, you're gonna get something else.
I don't understand that question.
If you have blue hair, she doesn't want to dye it back.
Okay.
Where can she get a job? How about the Lazy Farm? Because you spend all that effort to dye it blue and you don't want to dye it back to a regular color. Or you can
Just get a wig.
Yeah, convince someone at Sesame Street to create a wife for Cookie Monster, and then you're all set. Let's take a Twitter question. This is from Doonology. I need advice on how to throw a kick party. You girls are awesome. Well, thank you. You hardly know
Agreed.
us. My
We
gosh,
are,
I
though.
need to catch up.
I'm sorry, I told you I really needed
You
one.
really were dehydrated. And I'm glad that I can hydrate you. Okay, how do you throw a kick-ass party?
Oh, invite good people.
That's
That's
a-
first and foremost.
that's
Have
so
people
true.
who will have things in common.
Yes, I totally agree. Or invite one person that's kind of crazy, because when they start acting crazy, everyone else can be like, that person's crazy. And so they have this shared experience that
Right.
brings them closer together.
Right, exactly. Maybe, if you know someone who's got like a cool party trick
Yeah,
that they can just pull out.
like a magician or
Someone who could read signs.
someone that can read signs.
Not like signs, but like you're a Libra.
Astrological signs.
You're a Libra, and I know exactly why. That kind of fun thing.
Whoa, that
I read it.
Face
No.
paint, maybe face paint. Some sort of fondue people are into. I know. And then also maybe like a bowl of like Lactaid next to it, just in case. Everyone should have something that they can relate to at your party.
In the 80s, they used to put, I don't even say what they used
Let's
to.
take a Twitter question. This is from the Purity Party. How many days can I wear sweatpants and still know I am better than everyone else? I feel like you and that blue hair girl should date each other. Because you guys refuse to do a lot of things.
They're
How many days can you wear sweatpants and still think you're better than everyone else?
only when you're on your period.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you look like you were a boy according to your avatar.
So that
And
doesn't really work.
so, good luck with that. Welcome to our world. Let's take another question, shall we? What do we
good.
got? This is from I Might Be Carla. How to tell my parents that I don't want them to call me every single day. I live abroad. Okay. How do you tell your parents?
I just like being direct. Mom, Dad, I love you, but you need to just back the F off.
I like being passive aggressive. Send them a series of text messages and explain to them that you don't want them to call you
My
every
parents
day.
don't text. That's the
Oh.
thing. They refuse
Oh.
to text. Well, that would means we couldn't talk.
Right. They have to evolve.
I love you, Mommy, I do.
No, this is natural selection. This is survival of the fittest. Your parents have to learn to adapt to what you want in this world. But yeah, I think be direct. Tell
Be
them.
direct.
But then just say I love you after it so that
Be
they
nice
know.
about it. You don't need to be a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be a
Don't be a
dick.
dick.
Let's take another YouTube comment. This is from the Daily Guru. I know that guy. What do I do when it is too hot for jeans but too cold for shorts?
Jorts.
Jorts, capri pants. That's why God himself invented the capri pants. Who knew God was such an amazing fashion designer?
I did.
I
I always had a feeling about it.
Yeah, it's true. You saw Jesus' robes. He got that from his dad. His dad was like, put a belt around that. His dad was the first one that invented the cinched waist.
God was no dummy.
It's really amazing. I would say linen pants. When can you go wrong with linen pants?
You can't. They do wrinkle a little bit.
Yeah, you can go wrong all the time with linen pants. They're the worst things in the whole world. They're worse than capri pants on men. Oh, it's debatable. Linen capri pants would be absolute hell on earth. Let's take
yeah.
a comment from YouTube. From Karina of Jess. Okay. I'm like the laziest person ever. How can I motivate
There's far more
myself
of this.
to actually do work? Love you guys. Okay. If you're the laziest person ever, how can you motivate yourself to actually do work?
There you go. Just
Please.
get that right over here.
I
don't
say
know.
set goals. Set goals.
Short-term goals.
Yes.
So you don't get overwhelmed.
Set goals that are manageable for yourself. And I actually saw this in one of Hannah Hart's video. She was talking about like how to motivate yourself to get work done, and she was saying create a checklist for yourself of even the most simple tasks, like pour another glass of champagne,
Check.
drink champagne,
Check.
throw a phone away so you don't send mysterious text messages
Check.
later. And just those simple tasks, something about cathartic,
But you actually have to write them.
Yeah.
You can't build that, the notes on the iPhone. You
Yeah.
actually have to write it out.
Yeah, but even just that little simple list, being able to cross something off might hopefully motivate you into crossing off more complicated tasks.
Get out of bed today.
Yeah,
Check.
did it. Cleanse yourself in a way that's appropriate to be seen in front of other people. Check.
Check.
It's debatable for myself today. I'm wearing a lot of eye makeup, guys. Let's take a Twitter question from My Life a Skim. As Kim 92. Okay, so close. It's tomato, potato. How to overcome my phobia of bunnies? Well, you could
That's a tough one.
Yeah, you could do it the Maury Povich style and just have someone dress up as a giant rabbit and come into your house so that it scares the fear out of you.
Yeah. Or you just understand that there's nothing scary about them.
Or you
Like-
break down what actually scares you about them.
Right.
Is it their ears? Is it their movement? Is it what you associate with the rabbit?
Well, they're very soft and cuddly.
Right.
So that would be inviting. That would mean intimate. Maybe you're afraid of intimacy. You should look into that. You're welcome.
God bless you. Let's take another question. This is from Chloe Reed is here. Why can't I? Okay. Chloe Reed is here. Nailed it. I got reply from a job interview saying that they're offering me a position, but I rang them to discuss it further and no one picked up. Am I being trolled? I don't think if you rang them and no one picked up, did you leave a message?
Are you sure you got the job? Wait, did they get the job?
Did you call the right number? I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is a job you want, hopefully the business that you're working with is very
Can
busy.
afford a phone, a phone.
A phone.
What?
That's okay.
Afford.
Tomato, potato. The telephone
The
bill.
telephone bill. That's important.
Yeah.
Solvency is important for a job, for an employer, I think.
Yes. I say give yourself some time to see if they call back. This is like dating. Getting a job is like dating. If they don't answer right away, give it a day. And then if they still don't answer, do donuts on their front lawn with your car. Everyone handles things differently.
Yeah.
Find what works for you. Let's take another YouTube comment. This is from GusBot5. Is it possible to start out a relationship being long distance and have it work? No.
Nope, they all fail. Every single one of them. Sorry.
Sex online, not the same. Let's take another comment. This is from Britta B62. How do I impress my teacher when he's very strict? Why do you want to impress your... Okay, you want to impress your teacher, but he's very strict. Follow his rules?
Get good grades.
Get good grades? Be well
Not-
behaved?
Show up, for
Show-
starters. That would be good. True story. I never showed up for my biology class, and I didn't show up so much that he would mark me absent. And if I showed up, he would erase the absent mark. That's true. That's what you don't want to do.
Wait,
is that
so you
example.
didn't show up.
I hated biology, and I refused to go. And I still don't know how I passed.
That's
Because I'm
funny.
not smart.
No wonder you wouldn't dissect that frog earlier.
It's true.
I'm learning all these things about you. Let's take a Twitter question. This is from ChowIt101. How has the internet changed your life? Ooh. Yeah, how has the internet changed your life?
Met you.
Oh my gosh, it's true.
It's true.
We did meet through the internet, and that's actually like a very true thing. I've met a lot of people that I now have as friends through the internet. Wow,
It feels good.
it feels really good. So keep commenting, and maybe you'll meet some friends in that chat room, guys. Wow, that was great. But guess what? Now it's over, and I'm sad.
Boo. Boo.
Now I'm okay. Emma, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you for having me.
here.
That was really fun.
That you give great advice, and
you.
to all these people that you helped, please let them know where they can find you on the internet.
They can find me at Essenema. That's ESSNEMMA. Essenema. That is my YouTube channel.
What about Twitter?
Twitter is my name, Emma Caulfield. And of course my Tumblr, Flying Freak Flag. And Facebook, Essenema. So there you go.
All the
I'm
social
everywhere.
networks. Everywhere. She's everywhere. She'll be in your dreams tonight. Yay! You guys can find me every other day of the week at MyDumChannel.com/DailyGrace. Don't forget to subscribe here to My Dumb Channel so you don't miss any of these live gems, because if you do, it's really sad.
Sad.
Until next time, tell Beth I said hi. Bye!